Hello and welcome to my first live stream. Oh my gosh, I'm actually really nervous. I've never done this before. How crazy. Oh my gosh. Um yeah, if you're joining me, thank you so much for joining me either on Twitch and or YouTube. Please feel free if you haven't already to subscribe because it would help a lot. And we're definitely gonna get straight into it today. Um, so this is called Soft Life and Sips. Okay, so this is just a really chilled, relaxed place where we can just come back on a Monday night, a little bit of permission just to slow down, be real, and just have somewhere to sort of hang out. And tonight you are in my kitchen. A lot of the time you will be as I cook and go about my evening. If you are watching, please jump into the chats and say hi. That would be amazing. Those who don't know me, my name is Tash and I am the Hills Homestead Queen. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Tonight I am definitely going to be sipping because, nerves, but it's also Monday night. So join me, get comfortable, tracky dacks, pajamas, whatever. It's Monday night. Maybe you want a hot tea, maybe you want a wine. You do you. No judgment here. I have this cute little bottle of wine from our lovely neighbours when I first moved in. So they dropped it over for us, which I thought was really sweet. It's a little housewarming present, which is just really nice, and a welcome to the neighbourhood. So cute. So we're going to drink that tonight. It is a Shiraz Cabernet. How fabulous. How fabulous. All right. So how about we do a little check-in? So maybe you want to tell me how you are today. How are you showing up? Are you relaxed? You got your messy mum bun on? What's happening? Tell me a little bit about it. Pop it in the comments or whatever. It's going to be available to rewatch as well on both YouTube and Twitch. So that's all very exciting. Now, this is a weekly thing. So this will be something that we'll check in every Monday night, 6:30 Adelaide time. And yeah, we'll just have a bit of fun together, and you're going to help me as I cook dinner. How amazing. Tonight on the menu, we are having just a homemade chicken snits, and I'm going to do wedges. So nice and easy on a Monday night. Typically speaking, my boys, so my son, he is 14. He has soccer on a Monday night, but he's not there tonight because he's a little bit injured. And my son, hubby, is normally there with him as well. Now, we do need to do a very special shout out to my hubby because as much as I've annoyed him with all of this, he has been my tech guru. So don't think that live streaming isn't as easy as it looks. You can't just hit record and off you go, which is what I would like to do. There's a lot of setup that needs to go through it. So shout out to him, Joe Mundy on Twitch. Give him a follow. Beautiful. All right, excellent. So I've got recipes and everything in front of me because I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I actually know what I'm doing when it comes to cooking. I'm just figuring it out as we go. All right, fabulous. So I'm going to get started because if I don't get started, we're not going to have dinner anytime soon. So the first thing that I'm going to personally do is we're going to cook some potatoes. I'm going to put some salt and some water. I'm going to turn that up, boom. And start my knives. These are super sharp, so we're going to concentrate on these. And then I'm going to start telling you a little bit about my story, my journey, who I am, and yeah, I'd like to hear about you as well. So if you are there, please. Oh, look, my husband's in the chat. How fantastic. Yay. Best husband ever. Oh my God, this stream would not have happened without him at all. So just FYI. He is a guru at this stuff, and he is a streamer, and he's very good at this stuff. So how fabulous. All right. Hopefully you can hear me all right. If you can't, just let me know in the comments as well. I'm trying to multitask here. I don't know how well I am at multitasking, but here we go. So I'm just cutting these into actual little wedges. Easy peas. All right. So a little about me. All right, so yes, I call myself the Hills Homestead Queen. My sort of dream is to learn how to, we've moved to the Adelaide Hills in the country, and my sort of dream is to learn how to urban homestead. And really about soft living and slowing down, because I am an ex-boss babe, an ex-hustle culture addict, you name it, I was doing it, too much of it, all the time. Go, go, go. I am now a former professional wrestler, and we were running businesses and, working full time, being a mum, all those sort of fun things, that I've just hit this point of my life where I was like, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Because I am stressed out all the time. Like I'm racing at 1,000 miles a minute. I have sort of ADHD, which doesn't help the matter. It's just all over the shop. Oh, I've just been told that the sound is very good. How fabulous. I love that. I love that. How good. So even just before we only just moved in February of this year. So this house that we are in, it has taken us about 4 years to get here as well, just with land delays and things like that. So anyone building in Australia, or particularly South Australia, you probably know what I'm talking about. Hasn't been fun, but it's fun now that we're in, of course. And my sort of idea from there is, even sort of the end of last year and everything like that, I was starting to, I think, a little bit of wanting to take control back of my life. Because what I sort of feel like is that stuck in, like I said, with hustle culture. And one thing with hustle culture, and sometimes you think that you see with society, is that we get very, very pushed into that narrative of like quick and convenience and blah, blah, blah. And what I notice is that my health has been absolutely atrocious. And like it hasn't been great. So we just wanted to, and I think that it's more than just, what you eat and all that sort of stuff. Is that I was starting to think that maybe I have a lot of issues with hormones, and then I've hit perimenopause, so fun. That is just an absolute freaking shit show. And when things are out of control, you start to realize that, hey, something's got to give. And I think I started realizing that there was just so much going on with my health and everything in there. And there's just so much in our food, right? So many like toxins, additives, preservatives. I'm already a celiac as it is. So I just have these issues anyway, right? And so I was like, I think I just want to sort of take that control back and really get back to a way of being able to be as self-sufficient as we can but be. So future vision is, I would love to have, like a kitchen garden out there where I'm, herbs, veggies, all those sort of things that you use on a day-to-day basis. I want to put back there. So just being as self-sustainable as we can on our little, it's not little, it's 800 square meters. Obviously I'm not going to have chickens or, cattle running around, but then buying locally as well, and just going on that journey and exploring it together. So that's sort of what we're here for as well. But part of that journey as well is that, when we look at, what was happening within our food systems and everything like that, that was just causing some health issues as well. It's also lifestyle, right? And it just, there's a lot. There's a lot of stress. And I think that when your body reacts to that, it doesn't react well. So, it's about that sort of getting healthy and stuff like that as well. So that's sort of how I started Hills Homestead Queen. So I always had this sort of thought, when I moved to the country, I'm just going to change it all, right? And then, yeah, it was funny. So then with some of it, right, there's a little bit more to it as well, right? So, because as I said, like we've talked about food, I've talked about, health and stress and everything on the body as well. But also something sort of funny happens when you sort of turn around 40 and you start pondering life and the meaning of life. And I think I'd spent so much time hustle trying to get all these things, and to have all the money and have all the newest things and, you know, keep up with everyone, because that's sort of what I was told we should have more, be more, do more. That it sort of burnt me out, but it also left me feeling really, really unfulfilled. And then this year, you know, before we moved, this year it's just turned our life upside down, like you wouldn't believe. So my mum got a stage 4 cancer diagnosis, and it sort of came out of nowhere in January. So that was just a huge fucking wake up call, let me tell you. So, and I think that's when I really started, you know, I guess self-reflecting and just working out, hey, what's really actually important to me? Because all this chasing all this stuff and spending all this time out of the home and everything is really not making me feel great. And, you know, and when you sort of get faced with that sort of thing, is that you start to really work out, you start looking over your things and you're like, oh my God, this time that I spent here doing this, and this time, like, I just wish I'd spent it at home with family, you know. And, you know, I'm seeing my son, he's 14, he's just growing up so quickly, you know, and I've spent so much time just working all the time, that you sort of feel like you miss out on some of that and you can't get it back, right? And, you know, and then it's the same with, you know, spending time with my husband. Like, we always had the wrestling bit, we always had something else on the side and always happening and always busy, that we just didn't really have that time just to connect and just be together. So, you know, they're the things, you know, like when I found out about my mum, it was those things that were just like, you know, like if anything happened to my husband tomorrow, or my son, you know, like I would just, you know, or me, right, I'd be devastated, and I would have all these regrets about the time that I didn't spend and, you know, connecting with them and doing those sort of things. That really just shone a light on what was really important to me. So this whole journey is so, like, it's a holistic journey, as in whole, you know, like it's health, it's mental well-being, it's lifestyle, it's the whole lot. So and, you know, like I always joke too, because I'm I'm an elder millennial, and, you know, definitely women elder millennials we were told that, you know, wanting to be a housewife or a homemaker or anything like that, like we were taught that was bad, and we were taught about, you know, hustle culture, be a boss babe, like girl boss, you know, all that sort of shit, really. And I bought into it so hard, like I really did. Like I was like, yeah, I can have it all, I can do it all, I can be it all. And then started realizing, like, that's actually not what I want. Like I feel so disconnected. Even though I'm like connected, I'm available 24/7 to everything, anytime, all the way. It just, it's just, no, it's but I'm disconnected from myself, I'm disconnected from my family, I'm disconnected from the things that actually really, really matter. So that's where that is. So yeah, fun times. So what am I doing next? Potatoes are on. I only want those to par cook, right? So thanks for listening to my TED talk, by the way. We only want those to, my cooking skills look great. I'm not sure about that, but thank you. And that's definitely part of the purpose here, right? Is what I want to show. Like, this is a nice little safe space, and we're not here to be perfect. We are just here to be normal people, and learn these things together. Because sometimes there's these skills that your mum might not have taught you, and I had a few of that, right? Like no one sat me down and gone, "This is how you cook." So I've just sort of figured it out, and I used to hate cooking, and now I sort of learning to embrace it and love it. So. Yeah, so amazing. Awesome. So beautiful. Family. I've got a beautiful little dog who's asleep on the floor in the kitchen. He is this, like, the little world. So if I go ass over tit, that's why. Beautiful. So anyway, these are par cooking. I only want them to par cook. I'm actually going to chuck the oven on, because I'm actually going to cook those in the oven once they're all done, but I'm going to do the things. All right. As I said, we're doing chicken snitties. Chicken snitties. Oh, beautiful. I'm just gonna, I realized I didn't get a knife to cook these out, and so now I'm gonna have to do the wash, the grab, the wash, the grab, the wash, the grab, the wash, the grab. How annoying. You can't even see me because I'm like washing my hands over here. That's okay. Which one of these brutal weapons am I going to use today? I want to cut these. I want to make them thinner so they come up nice and sort of crispy. So I'm just going to a couple of chicken breasts. We're just cutting them out, and I'm going to cut the tenderloins out. Wonderful. Ah. Oh, awesome. That's so good. How is the business side of things going? Is it something you said you just started? Is it like new, been doing it for a little while? What got you interested in it? Tell me a little bit about that. Well, I try not to cut my fingers off. So I do like to also be really like real as well. So you'll notice that the name of this is about betting on myself as well. So I love getting a little bit of real talk of everything that's happening, a little goss, spill the tea, if you will. Unfortunately, last week from my day job, something beeped at me and I don't know what it was. Oh, that's fantastic. So for me, unfortunately, on Monday of last week, I got made redundant from my job. So, you know, as I said, I've talked about the stuff that's happened with my mum being like a wake-up call. And now, again, another obstacle in the way of just turning my life upside down, causing, I don't know, it just likes to keep me on my toes. So, you know, this is a little bit about like, you know, betting on myself in this sort of situation. Because this is something that I've been working on in the background. So, you know, now this is something that I get to go all in. So hence why, if you're not already subscribed, please do. It all counts. It all matters. Sorry, as I read that through that there. Oh, currently working with my own graphics at the moment, only just because that's something that I like to do, but it's just, yeah, just a bit of a creative outlet, really. Oh, so who else has had a really wacky year, which has just been like crazy? Is it just me? Or has it been like a bit of a consensus, a bit of energy around the place? People are going through that. Is this going to be one of those things when we get to be like, oh, thank God 2025's over? Or, you know, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm looking to you guys to be like, I'm not alone in this. It's me and my family. We're doing it. We're going through it like you would not believe. But as I said, with this sort of stuff though, when you do go through these like things in life, it does really force you to reevaluate everything. And that's sort of where we're at. All right. How fabulous. How fabulous. So, just for our chicken snits. Our chicken snits. Oh, I need this to... I probably should have used a bigger pot. But anyway, you live and you learn. You live and you learn. Beautiful. Let's chuck that over there. Now, what I'm also going to do Unfortunately, in this family, I am a celiac, so that means that everybody is a celiac, and that we have to use things like gluten-free breadcrumbs. And no, these are not ones I prepared earlier. As I said, we're at the start of the journey. So I have started making some really cool stuff, though. Like, I am going through little bit by little bit, reevaluating my pantry and, you know, looking at what I can replace. So what store-bought stuff that I have and what can I replace. This, oh my God. So the first things I did, I replaced taco seasoning, so I just make my own now. That's really cool. What else? Stock. We just I started making my own stock, but chicken stock and beef stock. So good. But as I said, it's about one thing I always find when I watch and see a lot of homesteading stuff. They're like, I threw out everything and I started over and we don't do this and we don't do that. But I feel like sometimes that's a little unsustainable. And sometimes when you try to do things like too much or like all in, that it gets a bit overwhelming and then it's not sustainable and then you don't keep at it and then you're like, this is too hard and then you stop doing it. So I'm also not like, you know, like I'm also not a big advocate of just like going, you know, like for instance, plastic containers. They're a bit ick. That is a plastic container. However, I am slowly but surely I'm starting to change everything over to sort of glass, but I'm doing it one at a time, right? So when one of those containers breaks, that's when I swap it, rather than just, you know, throwing it all out and being like really wasteful about it. It's just about, you know, doing it bit by bit, just as it happens. So I think that is a little bit of a better approach there. That's what I think anyway. I don't know. What about you? Is that something that you're sort of all in on, or do you prefer, you know, to, or is it something that you prefer to, you know, do sort of bit by bit? I don't know. Sometimes when you want to change a lot, it can be really, really overwhelming. So we just like to do little things at a time. All right, what have I got next? What's happening? Just about working out the timing of all of this. So I'm just going to get another plate out. Put my chicken there. Because then I can have this all done on this side of things when it's ready to go. I'm going to push this chicken and like my life depends on it. Like it depends on it. Oh, how good, how good. So check in a little bit with me. How was your weekend? What did you guys get up to? Was it anything exciting? Awesome. I believe that we just got some new followers on YouTube. Stacey, thank you. That's so good. Sorry, I can't see all the notifications because my screen is so little. So apologies if you're coming up. I will look at this later as well. So, oh gosh, all feedback. Let me tell you, learning. Who said you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Although my husband will probably tell you that he, I don't think he felt he taught me very well. He's so natural at this sort of stuff, and I am definitely not. I can talk, I can film, but the whole technical aspects behind it, God no, not my thing at all. So yeah. So now that I've been made redundant, there is nothing quite like it. I don't know if anyone else out there has ever gone through anything like that, but it is, I don't know. it is a whirlwind of emotions, let me tell you, because, you know, 1 minute you're really secure in your job, well, you think you are, and you know, literally 3 weeks before this happened, we had middle management telling us that everything was fine, all of our jobs were secure. Yes, we were restructuring, like, but there was nothing to worry about, you know, like, and then they basically, you know, this year alone, they've laid off about half their staff. So fun times. So yeah, like I think too, like what was really hard for me with that is that first, this is a business that I really loved, and I really loved that job. And you know, I felt like I thought I would go sort of places there, right? You know, like I thought it's somewhere that I would be for a long time, which is why I went there, because I was looking for, you know, that career move where it was just something where I could just, you know, like grow and evolve and, you know, do different roles and just be there for a long time, because I've done a lot of, you know, different roles over the time. And the one thing that I haven't had is that longevity. So I thought I went with a company that was really reputable, who'd been in business for a really long time and had a, you know, a reputation for being around the longest in the industry that they do. And yeah, so I, you know, like, so I felt very secure. And then all of a sudden not being secure, like, and it just came out of nowhere. We came back from some holidays, and you know, there we were, you know, getting told that, hey, sorry, see you later, and walked out the building. It was just, I was in shock. I think I'm still in shock about it, to be honest. So it's just, yeah, it's just one of those things. It's just crazy. So, but it is what it is. So for me, you know, like, and I have to do the things, right? Like I can't, you know, like I wasn't cool, calm, and collected about it when it happened. Let me tell you, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, oh yeah, everything's fine and blah blah blah, like, 'cause that's not real, right? And if anyone's going through this, you deserve to be seen and to be heard, and not, you know, people. I'm not fluffing up my life on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, so that you know, so that it looks fake and perfect, because that's not real. That's not me, and that's not real. So trust me when I tell you, there was tears. There was a pity party. It takes me a good 24, and that's my process. 24, 48 hours. I've bloody got to cry about it. I've got to sook about it. I've got to woe is me and a pity party and all those bloody things. But then I've got to brush it off, and I do the panic, and I go to worst case as well. So worst case scenario of everything. Oh my God, what about this? And what if this? And what if that? And in something like that as well, you really you go over everything. You're like, oh my God, but what if I did this, or what if I did that, or, you know, like, you really start to second guess everything that you've ever done in your life. So that was my process. And then now it's, you know, big girl pants back on, and, you know, what is in my control, because that's out of my control. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't get that job back. You know, like, it's been made redundant. The position doesn't exist anymore. Like, so what can I do about it? And what's in my control? So what is in my control is obviously, you know, looking for other work, but because I have this, as I can invest into this, like, and, you know, grow this to be something, because this is what I'm passionate about. You know, if you go and have a look at my channel, this soft life, this slowing down, you know, this is what I'm really, really passionate about. And because I feel like, you know, as women, like, it's something that we need. It's not that we need permission to do it, but we've been conditioned so much to not do it, and to do everything, and, you know, hustle culture, boss babe, blah 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 blah, is that you sort of, you know, like, sort of, you need to work out that there can be another way, and that way can be nice, and it can be less stressful, and, you know, slowing down and getting back to our roots and older ways, like that's sort of what I'm passionate about. So, you know, I can spend that time now rebuilding, to be able to share that message, and to be able to show, you know, from my own experience, what did I do to come out of hustle culture? What did I do to, slow down and start embracing my life a lot more and do that? So, and a great thing I started with was I've got something out there that's called the Soft Life Starter Kit. And it's a gorgeous little kit, just to help you sort of get started and to reevaluate and just to guide and help if you were so inclined or needed it. So that link, if you need it, is there. That's what we're going to say on that one. Oh my gosh, we're nearly there. We're nearly there. I've got my production crew back here helping me. I don't know what you're pointing at.
You've only got the Twitch chat here, so you're missing the YouTube one over there. So that's your YouTube chat. That's your Twitch.
That's so good. Okay. Oh, see, my husband is literally the best. He's just set up my YouTube chat. So now I can actually see you guys in the YouTube chat. So that's so good. So what is for dinner? Sorry. I don't know how long ago you wrote that, so my apologies. We're having chicken schnitzel and wedges, all homemade. How fab. Gluten-free because, that's the way we roll, of course, if you ever wanted to make it. It's not, and it's so, it's really easy. And I think that's what I want to show you guys here as well. When I talk about the soft life and going back to sort of older ways, it's not complicated. We've really been sold this lie about convenience, right? Fast food this and, frozen meals that. And it's just it's crazy, because it does literally, it wreaks so much havoc on your health, and it has mine, hence how I am is how I am. And so, yeah, oh my gosh. I'm one wine in and I can't find my tea towel. How crazy. But no, it's just really, really important. That's what we're here for. So if I can do that whilst I'm not working and I can focus on this full time, that's what I'm doing, backing myself, backing that we're going to get out to like-minded women who just want a little inspiration and everything like that in between. All right, let's get rid of that. Oh my gosh. Now I can start putting some of the stuff back in the fridge. My dog is down there sneezing. Could you hear it? It's the cutest thing. You probably can't because of the mics, but bless him. All right, perfect. They are as done as I want them to be. Amazing. Oh, fantastic. You've put the notes on there for me. All right, I'm just going to have a quick break and then I'm going to be right back with you guys, okay? All right, beautiful. All right, amazing. Sorry, everyone's just helping me make this into something, which is so cool. So, yes, how exciting. I'm so excited for you guys that are here. This is awesome. Ah, yes, Jess, that is. Thank you so much for joining in, Jess, too. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. So now I'm just having a quick little look on the chitty chat. Ah, beautiful. Amazing. Hello, everyone. Anyway, so part of that rebuilding as well, like I said. So it's kind of cool too, because as much as, I'm sit there, look for other things and other stuff, is that I get to really kind of pull myself into alignment as well and start building. It's like rebuilding from the ground up. It's just, it's almost like the world, I always have the saying, like, it's just burn it down and start again. And that is what it feels like is happening to my life. We are burning it down and we are starting again so we can just layer in these beautiful, beautiful foundations. So that's what we're doing. So, what's life look like now? Well, it looks a bit like this. It is, it is walking, it's getting back to nature. I've been getting into a little Tai Chi, just like a little 5 to 10 minutes in the morning, just for a little bit of flow and movement, because it is a focus. Like, I obviously really want to get my health back, like it's just, yeah, I just want to be vibrant and happy and excited and enjoying my life rather than stressed and busy and all those sort of things. So it's, yeah, that's great. And so now I get to focus on this content creation side of things, which I think is really cool and a lot of fun. And that's obviously what you guys are here to watch tonight. And, and hopefully, I just get to share, I don't know, I just want to create this calm little cozy corner of the internet, because I just find that there is so much chaos that is out there in the world, right? There is so much chaos and there's so much, confusion and anger and all these sort of stuff. And when you get on the internet, there's so much shit on there as well. And negativity just has this way of being like this is breeding ground on the World Wide Web. So if I can create a little space of calm, of, I don't know, just beautiful, a little chaotic in a different way, and learning how to look after ourselves and hopefully inspiring people along the way. That's sort of what the purpose is here. I don't even know what the time is right now. My husband points behind me at the clock that I clearly did not know that was there. Because we're nearly an hour in and we've got not much to show for it. So we must get a wriggle on. We must get a wriggle on. Too much talking, not enough cooking. What is everyone else having for dinner tonight, though? Like, I would like to know that. What's on your menu? What's your go-to meals? Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Oh, gosh. All right. Now I got to do the thing where I let all the water out and try not to kill myself. Yikes. All right. I'll be back. But this is your turn. Your turn now to tell me about what you're cooking. What did you have for dinner? What did you have for dinner? Oh, I think we've got some like... Oh, talk about some family love when your son follows you. How fabulous. Thank you. Oh, see? Family support. How amazing. How amazing. I love it. Now, the one thing's going on over there in the sink that you guys can't see is it's a shit show. And it's just everything's piling up in there so that I can just keep carrying on. Not necessarily the way that I would normally do. My husband is like this super, super clean. Like he, cleans as he goes and he's really organized and stuff like that in the kitchen, which is really, really cool. And I try to be like that. I'm not quite like that, but it's a work in progress. But tonight is definitely, live stream nights are not going to be like that at all. All right. Wedgies. Look at them. Whew. All right, so I'm going to use the same thing that I've used on the schnitzels, right, to like season these with. So I'm just using ranch seasoning, some garlic powder. That was olive oil before, a little white pepper, not too much, and then a little bit of salt. But this is chicken salt too because, we need a little bang today. All right. So itchy. I always end up talking too much and overcooking the potatoes. So they're more, I don't know, not quite, let's just say they ain't wedges. They're not wedges no more. And it may seem like I'm sitting here pouring a lot of oil, but I'm really not, because this thing, it just comes out like really like, not much. It looks like I'm getting excessive in there, but the reality is not so much, not so much. Oh my God. Perfect. Now, same thing again. Pan, oil. That's as much as I don't want to, like, not deep frying these or anything, but you do want a little fry, right? But a healthy fry. All right. Fabulous. How good. All right, got some tongs in here. What tongs? Or I want these. Why not have both? I'm going to need both anyway. I just want to spread these out so they're not going to... my potato chunks, more by the looks of it. And that will always be the motto in here: progress, not perfection. I'm not here to make your life more stressful. My husband will say that I'm here to make his life more stressful, but that's because he's a tech wizard. I am not. Oh dear, in the oven she goes. She's been preheating that whole time anyway. I'm actually going to turn her up so that we've got some good cooking happening. All right. And that's, you guys aren't going to get to see too much more, because by the time my time runs out here, that's going to be like a bit of time in and that's it. So, read the comments, guys, on Twitch. I think my husband is looking a little distraught about my cooking. Oh, if you're wondering what that blue light is, well, that's my little microphone too, okay? How funny. I don't just have some random blue light thing happening here. So, you know, if you watch us back on the play, you know, on the replay, or if you've joined us live, you know, please jump, you know, especially if you're watching us on the replay, jump in the comments too, you know, just to let us know that you've watched, where you've come from, and, you know, tell me a little bit about your story, you know, of any time that you've had to rebuild. Like, I would love to hear other people's stories as well. And I sort of hope by verbalizing my story is that I think sometimes, and I say, you know, as much as we are so connected in this world with technology, we're also so disconnected. And sometimes you can feel so alone in this world, especially when you're going through things like, you know, like sometimes you can feel like you're the only person that's going through this, especially if there's no one in your friend group who's gone through it or anything like that. You can feel really alone, right? And people, you know, like, so, you know, that's just sort of the point here, is to have that space to not feel alone, and by talking about it, because that's a big thing too. I think sometimes we've, you know, come also from previous generations of not talking about things. You know, there was always certain topics that were, you know, off limits. You know, let me tell you, perimenopause is probably one of those, because that thing hit me like a fucking brick shit house, you know, and I was so not prepared for it. So, you know, same with being made redundant. It's just not conversations that I hear happening very often. So, you know, it's just, you know, same with slowing down and giving yourself permission to slow down. Sometimes you feel like you need permission to slow down. If you feel that you do that, let me give you that permission, right? Like, slow down. Take stock of what's important. Start taking some stuff out of the diary. Like, just, you know, let's figure it out. And we're going to figure it out together. And same for skills that you haven't learned. Let's learn them together, because there's a shitload of skills out there that I haven't learned, and I just want to do it with somebody as well. So, leave it in the comments. Talk about it. Share your journey. Tell me what you want to see more of. All that sort of stuff. Like, I would love to, you know, connect with you guys. Like, and I want this to be a place that you can come in on a Monday night and just chill out in my kitchen, have a wine with me, talk with me, you know, that's all. It's all nice and easy. Well, on that note, I am probably going to call it because I really need to save this meal and to feed the family. So just, you know, I hope you guys have like a really great rest of the week. And if I can encourage you to do anything this week, take a moment to slow down, disconnect, put your phone off, put it in the other room, and just do something, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes of just doing something just for you, something that you enjoy, whether it is reading a book, it is getting some fresh air outside, it is doing a word search, whatever. Just something that's not on your phone. Just take 5 minutes to yourself this week. All right? If you haven't already, though, please subscribe. All right? So follow me on Twitch, follow me on YouTube, whatever your preference is. Please subscribe, because that's the only way that I can grow is if you guys subscribe. So I really, really appreciate your help. So I hope you have a fantastic night, and I will see you next week, Monday at 6:30 p.m. Adelaide time. Mwah!